What's going on, good people? Let me give you guys some information right now. We're going to do what I like to call some truth seeking. Now, I want to show you why you don't take things at face value and why you can't trust everyone. So when I tell you guys, I build my channel off of truth. Our opinions are our opinions. I can say wholeheartedly, my opinion is based off of the truth, okay, and the facts. And I'm going to always be honest about how I feel about things. So let's look at this. So I saw a couple of channels. Now, one guy in particular was ripping into the WWE about what they've been doing lately. And, I see what I see, and I don't like to make videos where I'm just ranting about what a company is doing. But we're going to be honest, and, I'm going to show you guys some things. And there were people in his comment section that was lying their asses off about WWE's attendance. They were lying about the ratings. And I want to show you something. I've done this before. I'm going to do it again. It's funny to me how people want to tell you week after week after week after week, AEW is losing to NXT in the ratings. And my whole thing is, okay, guess what? There was a long time where NXT was losing the ratings to AEW. And you know what? I really could care less because I don't watch either show to truthfully compare it to what the other show is doing. I watch each show for what each show presents. That's what I do. I don't do the I only watch AEW or I only watch TNA or I only watch WWE. I watch wrestling in general. Is every show going to be a home run every week on any show? Nah. But that doesn't mean we have to sit and complain like a bunch of little spoiled kids about everything we see. Now, let me show you the truth. The highest rated segment in WWE history, they said that it was the APA, I think, versus DX or something like that. And they drew at 8.0. And they've never done that again. Okay, so that was higher than anything that The Rock has ever done, Stone Cold, whatever. But that was the highest. Now, in TNA's peak, at the height, when they were at their highest ratings on Spike TV and anywhere they've ever been was at they had 2 million viewers. Okay. Now let me show you something. And at that time, SmackDown was doing between 3.2 and 3.4 million. That was their high. Okay, that was their lows with 3.2, the medium was 3.3, the highest was 3.4, and that's what they were bouncing back and forth. That was Raw. I'm sorry, Raw. SmackDown at the time was doing like 2.6, sometime between 2.6 and 2.8. That's what they were doing. And then their numbers would drop and go back and forth. Now, mind you, this is a time when WWE was deeming Raw as their flagship show, which I always thought was a bad idea. I just didn't understand it. Like, do you want SmackDown to be seen as a secondary show? Do you expect the ratings to be what Raw's is if you're treating it like a secondary show? Okay. A lot of things changed. A lot of things happened differently. And then that's when they did the whole brand split thing and, had their own champions of each show. Okay, so here's a fact. SmackDown and Raw have been pulling in 2.6, 2.4 million viewers. And then they dropped below that. So right now, as you can see, for the month of December, AEW and WWE, they're pulling in lower ratings than TNA's height, which was 2 million. Both shows. Remember when The Rock stood in the ring and The Rock said, the ratings are through the roof. WWE is on fire right now. Everything is all-time high. And I remember specifically looking at the ratings, and at that point, they were like a 2.6. That's not an all-time high. That's a deliberate lie by The Rock. And all someone has to do is tell you that they, the numbers of this and the numbers of that, because you want to believe it. You say, oh, well, they pulled this rating and that rating, and AEW can. I'm like, why is it that you guys can't just watch something and enjoy it? Why does it have to be a constant comparison all the time? For what? They're two separate shows. You like what you like. You don't like something, that's fine. The difference is people don't understand authenticity. You have a format that you're used to, and that's what you think every company should follow. Let's follow the leader. That's your mentality. No one's trying to follow what WWE is doing. They all have their own thing. They have their own lane. That's how it should be. Now, their ratings, I'm going to show you. And you guys could look at different channels doing this, and you'll see deliberate lies when you guys can do exactly what I'm doing right now. Okay, so this is WrestleNomics. Okay, this is what anybody who want to check the ratings, most people, this is where we're going to go to. So let me show you exactly what's been going on, so you can see the lies for yourself. Okay. Now we can look at it this way. Let me see. Let me get back to the bigger one. And they have all the way from quarterly from 20 to 20. I'm not interested in that. I'm only interested in right now, what we were just looking at. Okay. Now let's look at this right here. So Dynamite for December 18th, okay? 625,000 views. Now, they want to tell you, yeah, NXT beat them in the ratings again. But you know what they're not telling you? They're not telling you that even NXT is not pulling what they used to pull, because they were pulling in 900,000 something, and that's pretty much what AEW was pulling. And then they would bounce between 800,000 something, 900 something thousand. Then they would go down, and so it's been back and forth. Now let's look at NXT, 708,000. But they're not pulling the numbers that they used to pull. Now they partnered with the UFC, and they made all this, we're going this, we're doing that, we're going to Netflix, and all of these things that they're talking. Look at the viewership for Raw. 1,533,000. That's still under 2 million. TNA was getting clowned at the time. They only got 2 million. Raw is pulling in 3.4. Wow. SmackDown is pulling in 2.6. And now the same company that was being bragged about can't even pull 2 million anymore. Okay. Collision, 246,000. Rampage, 279,000. SmackDown, 1,530,000 viewers. Where's the 2 million at? Nobody's hitting 2 million. Dynamite, 594,000. NXT, 680,000. Okay, so when you look at the week, and you can go back and we can look at all the way back to the top, and you look at it, and it doesn't matter, man. It's like, you see, the problem is wrestling fans are super toxic, man. And there you have it right there. You see the numbers right there. Wrestling fans are so toxic. The video gaming community is so toxic. People in general. Things that you want to be able to have fun and enjoy. People are just toxic, man. They're always looking for something to put down. They're always looking for something to complain about. They're always looking for something to try to fall apart. And they wish, hope, and pray for the demise of a company, of a network, of a video gaming system, of a video gaming company. It's just so stupid, man. And I really cannot relate to this childish nonsense that people do. But you see the ratings right there. Not one of these companies are getting 2 million views. None of them. So how is it that it's only important that we talk about the decline in the numbers of AEW, but not WWE. And you guys that keep praising TNA is bringing in like 70,000. They don't even find TNA important enough to even put them in the mix. MLW or anything else for that matter. You know, so it's just a bunch of nonsense, man. I'm gonna pull up something, and I wanna show you guys. Want to give you a reminder of something. Okay, guys, and only because someone said, just to be probably trolling, but see, I got something for trolls too. I just ignore them or I'll show them proof. I don't even respond to them. It was said that I never heard anything about Fight Forever going forward. I think you guys just want the game to go forward. He said, no, that's not what it is, jackass. You don't want to see the game go forward, and you're full of hate and bitterness, and you're just a big child. You're not even an adult. Go talk to kids, don't talk to grown-ups. So let's go. It's around the 8-minute mark. Let's hear what Tony Khan, let's watch him reiterate what he said a long time ago when all the smart people told me that, no, the game is dead. And they told you guys. They went to their channels and told you guys it was dead.
Fun people behind the scenes.
And also on this channel, Tony, we talk about wrestling, we talk about video games also. But you had a really good first release with AEW Fight Forever, and it's still going through those stuff. Is there a plan to explore the consoles again for more video games in the future? And do you think how long before you may see a brand new AEW product game on the shelves?
Well, it's a great question. I think it was a great experience for us, and now it's going to be something for AEW as a multimedia conglomerate, a worldwide corporation. Definitely, it was a great first entry with AEW Fight Forever, and people can still play Fight Forever all over the world. And eventually, absolutely, we'll keep putting AEW games into the world. But right now, we're fully supporting that, and I'm excited about AEW Fight Forever. There's still more wrestlers and exciting things happening with the game, and I think there's a lot of opportunities in the world of gaming. To your point,
and also
now, I just want to say, for all of the people that decided that they wanted to tell me that they never heard these things, and I said, I can care less what you heard, I know what I heard, right? So let me tell you something to set myself apart from everyone else. I don't make up stories. I'm only going to tell you what I know. I'm only going to tell you what I hear and what I see. And if I tell you what I think, you're going to know, because I'll tell you this is what I think. But I would never tell you something to be factual if I don't know. So you will not leave a video from my channel believing something that isn't true. And if it turns out that it isn't true, that means that the person said it was lying, because I will tell you what was said. Now, you see that man right there with the little gray sweater on, Tony Khan? Do you think that any other channel, including myself, would know better what his plans are until he tell us? So for all of those channels that told you guys that this was going to happen, the game is dead, there'll be no season 5, when I tell you guys, you either want the game to be dead, just like these content creators are saying, or you just have such an ego about yourself that you don't want to admit when you're wrong. He just said the same exact thing he said a long time ago. And if you guys had just a little bit more maturity, you'd understand the way business goes, the way critical thinking goes. But you don't. You try to fit in with everybody else, and you try to say the things that you think people want you to say. He just said the same exact thing. Yep, they plan on putting a lot more content out and games out for AEW being a global conglomerate, right? But right now, for the foreseeable future, we're fully supporting Fight Forever. There's still a lot more wrestlers and things to update. Let's go back to all of you channels that got 30, 40,000, 50,000 subscribers. Great for you. Good for you. I hope you're monetizing and making your money. But stop lying to people. It's the guy who has less subscribers, but more brains. I told you guys, if they don't make a season 5 right away, what's probably happening more than likely, based on Tony Khan's words, is going to be more of a let's step back, let's let all the talk die down, let's let people get used to what they have right now. In fact, now it's on the PS5, it's on everything, it's on Switch, it's on Xbox, it's on PC. So let everybody get used to that. When they get the news that more content is coming, guess what? And the game is only a year old. So guess what's going to happen? Then they're going to get all excited for the game all over again. But what did I say? From day one, going forward, the gaming modes and the match types, they need to have these things ready to go. And that right there is really going to get people fired up to say, yeah, I want this game. And guess what? Only cheap people are going to complain about having to buy content. But now it would be like, hey, it's worth it. Now, I don't think that you should have to pay for things that they just unlocked in the game. These are things that should have been there in the first place. But bottom line is, the way they've been packaging their stuff, we don't know if they're going to package it the same way, where it's going to be 3 wrestlers per season, or if they're going to do where they're giving you, which would make more sense, that if you go and look at the add-ons, right, and you look and see that they have multiple wrestlers, they have different packages and bundles, and you can pick what you want, but they should be able to unlock those gaming modes, and this just makes everything else like a must. But you heard what he said, and I'm reiterating because, like I said, they had so many people jumping in my comment sections, jumping in other people's comment sections, telling them that the game is dead. Oh, you guys are wishing and hoping. No. Slow down, Charlie. Slow down, little fellas. We're not hoping for shit. We're not crossing our fingers. I'm saying, yeah, it would be great if they did. But if they don't, my life goes on. I'm not a child. I'm not a kid. I'm not crying or hurting if they don't. But what did Tony just say? So for all of you people that was defending your beloved channels, your leaders out there, the people that bring you false news, isn't it funny right now? Because months later, I just saw 3 new videos yesterday. AEW, Fight Forever isn't dead. AEW, Fight Forever, getting more content. WTF, AEW, coming back. Then, yeah, right, what we said from the very beginning. So now for the trolls that haven't seen anything, what did Tony Khan just say? So once again, don't ever come in my goddamn channels telling me what the fuck some content creator told you. I don't give a shit what a content creator told you. Unless they work for AEW Games, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And it's the right thing to do to say, I don't think there will be. And like I said before, yeah, if you don't see any information about a season 5, I can understand people saying, well, we don't see any new information, but we don't know. We'll just have to sit and wait. Now some time goes by. Guess what? It looks more and more like nothing's going to happen. And I can understand that. But when you sit and say something's dead and then sit and make 1,000 complaints about it, and you know what's funny? They do that. And then all of a sudden, when they realize they're wrong, now they want to come back with some excitement in their voice about the game not being dead. Why? Because they were wrong. And they want you to forget that they lied to you. Now, with all that being said, whichever direction they go in, hopefully it's for the better. Because I can't tell you exactly what they're going to do. But I know Tony Khan didn't get this far because he's a quitter. He didn't get this far because he think the way you think. Because if he did, he wouldn't have a business. He wouldn't be where he is. Because it's obvious you guys are a bunch of quitters and give up on shit and don't understand how to market things. So even for the game to not go where they wanted it to event, like it didn't do what a whole lot of people wanted. But there's a whole lot of us that like what we got. But we expected a little more. Let's put it like that. But nobody is making you buy anything. So every time I would see anything, oh, they're forcing us to. They're not forcing you to do anything. You're choosing to. And just like all of the losers, yes, the losers that had all of this negative shit to say about the game, and then you guys go and download the game, go buy the game, and you suck so much in life that you're subconsciously, you think that we know what you're doing. And then you feel compelled to say, I only bought the game because it was free. I only got it because it was free. And then put LOL, yeah, right. Then that makes you a loser, because if this game sucks, I don't give a fuck if it's free and they shipped it to my house. Why would I want something that sucks? Therefore, we can all say, it's safe to say, keep your hate to yourself. Grow up and learn. If you don't like something, ignore it. This channel, yeah, I like AEW far more than I like WWE. I like AEW more than I like TNA. TNA used to be in a situation where they was the targeted company because they was the competition to the WWE, and the WWE made the same comments. Oh, we don't see TNA as competition, TNA this, TNA that. Well, AEW is far bigger than TNA, and they did it in a lot shorter time. And here's the crazy thing. You can go on TNA's YouTube. They have damn near like 1 million subscribers, right? Still have way more subscribers than AEW does. But they can't do what AEW does. And this is not to knock TNA. I've always loved TNA, but I just don't see it the way I used to. The product doesn't feel the same. It feels more. It feels more like in the little small independent company. It feels more like a tiny little company. Sometimes they go to places where the crowds are bigger than others, and the atmospheres. But I want to see nothing but great things happen, because it's just more great content for us to enjoy. So I don't want to see any company fall off. I love watching MLW. I love watching, New Japan. I love watching Stardom. I watch all of it. I watch WOW. I watch WEW. I watch a lot of independent stuff. So at the end of the day, if you are here to support wrestling, right, then that's the cool thing. But if you're here on some AEW versus WWE war, I hate AEW, this channel is not for you. I promise you. So there's no need to even come on here just to spread hate. And for the record, let me just address this. There's no one that you can like or dislike that I care if you like or dislike that person. But if Mercedes Moné sucks now, if she's garbage now, then she was always garbage. She's the same Mercedes Moné, same skill set, still in her prime. And if Mercedes Moné was to leave AEW right now and go back to the WWE with the same exact character, the same gimmick, same everything, you guys that saying she's garbage would be going, oh, well, maybe you just don't like women. I don't know. But you guys would be sitting there going, hey, this is the Mercedes I miss. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. No, it's only because she chose AEW over WWE. Let's not forget, Trinity also left. Went to TNA and reinvented, I can't even say reinvented herself. She just went there and got treated better and became Knockouts champion and had a good run. Had a nice solid run before she finally came back. Mercedes said, no, I'm not a slave. I'm not coming back. Okay, Trinity also has a husband that worked there. So it's what happens for one doesn't necessarily have to work for the other. Okay, so yeah. But what has Trinity really been doing since she's been back? She's been nothing but a sidekick. She hasn't done anything major. So now she's evolved in a storyline where she may be the attacker of Jade Cargill. Typical wrestling thing. All these companies seem to take someone who's beloved, but they turn them heel. And it's like nowadays, it's almost like a rule with most wrestlers. You have to become a heel in order to become a champion or whatever, or for them to think that your championship reign is going to do anything. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And for all of the AEW haters, let me say this. Let's look at what Brody King went through before he left WWE. Let's look at what Miro went through before he left WWE. Let's look at what Aleister Black, okay? Let's look at what he went through before he left WWE. Buddy Lee. Let's look at what they went through. Let's look at how they were treated. Let's look at how Keith Lee was treated before he left WWE. Let's look at how Bobby Lashley became a fucking jobber, became a manager for the fucking Street Profits. Let's look at how he was treated before that. Let's look at what they was doing with Shelton Benjamin. And the list goes on, because every time someone comes to AEW, the first thing come out of you guys' mouths is, oh, they should go back to WWE. So now you're like, what, some fucking life coach? You know what's better for everybody else's life. So if Adam Copeland tell you he's as happy as he's ever been, all your stubborn, selfish ass is concerned about is, well, he's my favorite wrestler, but I'm not going to watch him in AEW because I only watch WWE. Well, listen, you can walk around with WWE drawers on. You can walk around with shackles on your feet, on your ankles, because you're a slave to the WWE. That's your business. But fans like you, nobody want. Because obviously, if you are a fan of someone, I'm nobody's fan. I just enjoy the products. I just enjoy what they do. But if you're a fan of someone, what kind of shit is that? Because he leaves and goes to a different company. Adam Copeland is happy with in his life. Mercedes Moné is happy in her life. That's what matters. And the fact that they're going in there to do what they have to do. And we know he's been sidelined with an injury. 2025, they're going to Max as well. And pretty much they'll maybe holding up. I don't know if he's healed by now, or they're just like keeping him off TV for a little bit. They have some surprises maybe coming. So maybe their debut on Max is something that we haven't seen, too much of, or even something for the first time in AEW. And then it so when this hits Max, it gives people, it hits harder. Who knows? Why would you wish them bad though? Why would you not wish them well? Why would you want to see AEW fail? Why would you want to see any other company fail? And if WWE didn't have a partnership with TNA, trust me when I tell you, you guys would still be saying TNA sucks. And I haven't seen one thing TNA has been doing different that all of a sudden they don't suck anymore. Other than just having a partnership. Just like I told you, notice all of their little partnership was with NXT. Now, if Jordynne Grace, because her contract is ending soon, if she doesn't renew her contract, and she just got a Wrestler of the Year award from TNA, but if she ends up going with WWE, if she does, yeah, that's the only way you're going to see her on SmackDown or Raw. So it's like I told you, for her to win and lose against an NXT wrestler, what did that tell you? Nah, she's not fully one of us yet, but we have interest in her. We have interest in Joe Hendry. They know what they were doing. And if you think that the WWE did this to help TNA, you have to be stupid. No, let's get Joe Hendry back here. Let's get Jordynne Grace here. Let's get these guys in. So guess what? The fans are familiar with them, and they're going to want to see more of them. And the day that Jordynne Grace goes, the Juggernaut is now officially a part of the WWE or the blue brand or the red brand or whatever, NXT, and the crowd goes nuts. Yeah, that's that moment. Other than that, no. And to be honest with you, let's look at what she's done in TNA. So why is she being shipped over to the little brother to SmackDown and Raw instead of the main roster? It's because she's not signed to WWE. That's what I told you. You guys got to understand. You got to pay attention to what's happening, but you guys get so into your feelings, and that's all you care about. Bottom line, I grew up watching wrestling. I've always loved to watch it. It's bittersweet at times. It's times you look at it and you feel like, what the hell did I just watch? Wrestling is like beautiful, lovely, gorgeous, ugly, stupid, dumb, creative, foolish, makes no sense, brilliant. It's all those things in one. But never have I watched any company and said, I want to see this company fall apart. You think that Bobby Lashley wanted to go out the way he did? Look at Sting's career, how it ended in WWE. Look at how it even started. Look at the beginning and end of Sting in WWE. Look at what AEW did for him. Look at Daniel Bryan. So all of these things that you try to make look bad. I hope that they can fill out this stadium and all in. I hope they have a great show. I certainly will be watching, for damn sure. But for all of you that sit here and want to see, people fall apart. You want to see things fall apart for people. You don't want to see people succeed because you just a bitter loser that sit up and try to live vicariously through these people. You just have no purpose in life. I've never, ever found it in my body, in my brain, no part of me to sit up and hate on something or hate on someone and want to see people fail. At the end of the day, and matter of fact, let me say this. Like I said in my last video, Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair are like the main reasons that I even watch WWE. The storyline between Bianca and Liv Morgan is so stale and just so, I just never thought nothing of it. You don't hear me saying Rhea need to leave and go to AEW and be with her man. If that's what she ever chose to do, then hey, whatever. But I'm saying no, they need to find a better way, a better position for Rhea, man. And even when Rhea was champion, her championship reign really sucked. It was garbage. It was trash. Jade Cargill was a badass when she was in AEW. She was jacked. She had that attitude. She was a bit Ultimate Warrior. She was a bit Goldberg. You understand what I mean? She had that mix. She had that toughness. She had that, let me go in here and whoop your ass real quick. Okay, you can get 8 to 10 moves off on me, but I'm going to get you at 1 or 2 and it's going to be over. But she was a badass. Now she done got all skinny and shit. She trimmed down so much. She looked weird, man. Like they don't use her right. Every time I see her, she's smiling. She acts really bougie, very petty. Like they got her and Bianca acting like a bunch of Valley girls. They act like a bunch of little stuck up, little spoiled brats. That's how all of the women act. All of them. They don't have a different identity. They don't have a different character. They have, everybody seem to just have the same character. And basically, whatever they're doing, it's just like when Lex Luger came from WCW and he came to the WWE. He had lost a lot of weight. He had trimmed down. He's still, muscular, but trimmed down a lot. He was the narcissist. They always come up with some weird little character change to, and this one didn't work for the better. Okay. Bianca Belair, she's always, her character, she's always like stressed out. She's always like worried about something happening. She, even in her matches, she still have this, like when they're beginners and they go for pin attempts and the person kick out and they lose their shit and they get frustrated. She still does that shit. Like, when is she going to become a veteran in the ring? You understand? Like, these type of things that you don't pay attention to until they go to AEW, and then you look and say, oh, I'm not going to be watching because I only watch WWE, but then you watch just so you can complain. But these are the things that they're doing. AJ Styles was another reason that I watched, and he's been off of WWE programming. I don't even know if he's still with the WWE. From what I understand, he left. I don't know what's going on. I don't like to go by rumors. Because, I heard that he was in New Japan Wrestling. I went and looked. I saw nothing. Just like I heard that, AEW is going to Fox and SmackDown is leaving Fox. No, not Fox, USA. And I said, okay, I haven't heard Tony Khan talk about it. You just heard Tony Khan talk about the very interview he had with this guy, Mr. Right Way. He said, plain and simple, he said they're going to be on TBS and TNT and Max for a very long time. He said nothing about going to USA. And I believe if Tony Khan and AEW were going to USA, that he would actually make that known because he wants the product to be seen. I'm hearing about them having a show called Shockwave that's going to replace Rampage. I don't know what's true. It could be something in the works. I don't know. But I don't want to report something that I don't know to be true. But I say what I say with no type of malice in my heart about nothing, about no one. But this is the type of stuff that I'm saying. And you know why Adam Copeland went out with the win in his very last fight in the WWE? Is because they was hoping he'd retire, sign a legend deal with them, and stay away from AEW. And that's exactly what they hope. And that's why they made that little bridge from WWE to TNA, because they'd rather a person. Let's look how this goes, okay? Anybody that leaves the WWE and go to TNA are going to be seen anywhere between 60 to 70,000 people on Access TV. And then whatever videos TNA puts out that they watch on YouTube. Okay? They'd rather have that than 500,000 or 600,000 people see him over there in AEW. That's not what they want. Because if you go to TNA, that means you have a whole lot less exposure. And for the people that don't watch TNA, you know what's going to happen? They're not even going to know that these people are over there. And they much rather have that happen. Now, when they find a spot for them, they'll bring them back. And that's what they rather have. And anytime someone leaves AEW and go to WWE, you guys rejoice, you celebrate, and you act like AEW is going out of business because a wrestler left. But when someone leaves WWE and go to AEW, you guys get butthurt and you complain. And that's all you do is want to see AEW fail. So yeah, I'm going to talk a lot more about wrestling on this channel, AEW, of course, and guess what? I'm not here to say, hey, let's just bash and bash. But yeah, I'm going to be honest about what I see, what I like, or whatever. But it's I just want to, I'm saying what I'm saying now to address the nonsense that people say and do. So what we're trying to do right now, we're trying to establish people understanding. Come to a channel to have fun, to unwind, to be able to just listen, watch, and see some content that you can get into versus coming here expecting to hear a bunch of ranting every week, because that's not what I'm here to do. That's not what I'm here to do. But the storylines that's going on right now in the WWE, they're just not intriguing to me. And even like Cody Rhodes. You notice Cody and Brandy started getting booed when they were in AEW. And Cody couldn't take it. He didn't know how to handle it. And everybody was talking about heel turn. And I respected the fact that he didn't do the heel turn. He even addressed it one time. I know everybody expecting the heel turn, but this and that. And I actually respected him for that. It's only a matter of time before it happens in WWE. Do you realize every Cody Rhodes promo is almost identical? He comes out with that little gray suit on, the little brown shoes, holding his belt like it's a briefcase, and he comes in the ring and he talks and he talks and he talks, and you know that somewhere before the promo ends, he's going to mention finishing his story. He's going to mention his father and what his father doing, what his father always dreamed of, and making his dad proud, and he's going to get choked up and cry a little bit. I mean, it's like okay, he used to cut very powerful promos and you could feel it, like you really felt his promos. But it gets to the point where it becomes overkill. Like, okay, man, we've seen it already. Do something else. Please. Please. This is necessary to do something else. The WWE is responsible. So when the general consensus is that, well, you're better off in WWE. Nah, bullshit. When's the last time Andrade Idolo did something that you cared about? Forgot about him, didn't you? So it doesn't make a difference what company you're in. You want to be utilized properly. But at the same time, every company has its hiccups. Everyone. But you guys like to come on people's channels and talk like the WWE does everything perfect. And you clearly overlook the things that they do that suck. So if you come on this channel, understand, we're here to uplift. And we're here to bring the truth. So when you guys are sitting here saying something that's not true, and you're bringing up numbers, and you're saying something, oh, well, this show drew this amount of people, and this one did this, and this one did that. I understand people don't like the truth anymore. That's why people get angry at the truth. I'd rather someone tell me the truth anyway than lie to me about shit. And I'm not going to stand up here and lie to you. Now, I wanted to close this video a long time ago, but everything's coming out. I don't want to have to repeat this in a second video or third video. Just want to get this out to you guys because we are just here to have fun, man. This is what we're here for. Truthfully, there's not much going on right now in the WWE that I'm excited about. Don't know if AJ Styles is coming back or not. Yeah, I'm not super interested, but kind of want to see. Put it like this: I'm hopefully, whoever attacked Jade Cargill is a surprise and isn't who people expect. And if the WWE is smart, you can't, like, once it gets to the point where people start to figure something out, because I'm pretty sure they read the comments. They know what people are saying. Right now, everybody thinks it's Trinity. Now, my thing is, it could be Trinity, but I wouldn't go with that. Trinity doesn't make a good heel. Her style just isn't good for a heel. She'd have to be more aggressive and get mean. Trinity just doesn't have that. It's not even believable with her. Her style just doesn't fit a heel. It really doesn't. She's at her best being a face and doing what she's doing, and the crowd is on her side. And her type of character, I could see her getting booed as a heel. Not because she's a heel, but it's like, we don't even care about Trinity anymore. I just don't see Trinity that way. She need to reboot her character, and it has to be something where it just fits her. You can't just being a heel and talking shit doesn't work. Let's be real. The New Day suck as heels. They suck as heels. If the promo that they did with Big E, it's like everything was cool until Big E came out, and all of a sudden they just switched up on him. And the funny thing is how petty the storyline is, where they're acting like they don't understand why the fans are booing them, because you turned heel. Simple. They go in the dressing room, and Rey Mysterio comes out and he tells them that they can't go, in the dressing room. It's best that they go change somewhere else. Nobody wants to deal with the New Day now. They just don't. They're not good heels. It doesn't even look believable, man. So like these type of things, it's funny how somehow anything that just looks cheesy and cheap in the WWE just goes unnoticed. But I'll tell you what. Hopefully, they give us something different. No different from, it's different in terms of, the fact that we knew ahead of time they was trying to. This is why I feel like wrestling, people talk too much. You don't tell the secrets, man. Like The Rock told the story so many times about how they was planning on him versus Roman Reigns, and it just never fell through. And it's like, nah, you basically spoiled it, man, because nobody cares now. And I think at the time too, because Cody was hot at the time to like, yeah, we wanted to see Cody finally get the title, that that was the wrong time. They felt like the Rock star power would be able to overshadow that. And it didn't. They didn't want The Rock versus Roman Reigns. And so The Rock turned heel to play it off. And it was like, I turned heel because you guys booed me, basically. That's pretty much what that was. But if you look at it, right, the fact of the matter is it ended up being Roman versus Cody. But, they had the tag match against Cody and I think Seth Rollins, was it? And, so they did a good move, how they flipped it around instead of trying to go through with it and then shove it down your throat, knowing nobody wanted The Rock versus Roman at that point in time. Okay. But wrestling is weird, because I remember that was it SmackDown or Raw when he said, he was saying The Rock likes to eat, and he was saying, should The Rock get a seat at the bar? Right? And the fans react, and he says, should I get a seat at the booth? And they reacted a little, and he says, or should I sit at the head of the table? And they cheered at the idea. But it's obvious when it sunk in later. Wait a minute. That would be a good idea if Cody wasn't the one we want to see against Roman. So look at how Cody was introduced into the situation, and look at his title reign and see what I'm saying. Why do you think their viewership dropped off? So stop coming on here. These channels need to stop coming on here trying to bash what AEW is doing. Always want to talk about their ratings and what AEW has to do to turn everything around. It's so funny how everybody has all the answers for what everybody should do. But not one of these people owns shit. You don't own a company. You don't develop video games. You don't do nothing, but we're not talking about fixing glitches and shit like that. Everybody has all these great ideas that go nowhere. Learn to just enjoy life and stop being such a little whiny, crying bitch about everything. I think that what we see happening right now, wrestling goes through this every year. Every company have have an up period and a down period where business is booming, and sometimes it just gets to the point where the ratings start to come back, then they slip again. It just goes back and forth. And y'all gotta also understand, we are in an era of time. Let's think about something, because you guys you fail to realize this. A true wrestling fan is going to watch wrestling over the NFL, the NBA, MLB, NHL, or whatever it is. They're going to watch wrestling over any of that. A casual is the ones that's going to watch wrestling when there's no NBA game on. or no hockey game or baseball or basketball or whatever other sport they'd rather watch. But you also have to understand, man, you got people that have Netflix. You think they're just watching one thing on Netflix? They have Hulu. They have Sling. They have Max. They have Prime. You understand what I'm saying? Then you have the gamers. You have all of these different things. It's too many ways to watch different things to where it's not a focus on one particular thing, which is why most things that you see on TV or music or whatever, why record sales isn't the same anymore, why things, the numbers sink, because people they become spoiled. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you have a cell phone, you have a tablet and a TV, how many times have you caught yourself or somebody in your house watching TV? They're watching something on their cell phone and their tablet, and they got earplugs in, they got earphones and listening to something, but we've gotten spoiled. So it's just so much to do that it's like, and as fucked up as it is, I don't think that the highlights is a bad thing at all. But the problem is, people will watch highlights and then try to sum up the whole show through highlights. No, I'd rather see the whole show. And that's what it's about, enjoyment. Let's have a good time, man. We're not here for all this nonsense. Guys, you got to remember something. I'm not a child, so I don't support bullshit. I'm not that one. Yo, it's your boy. No, I'm not a boy. I'm a man. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't do kiddie shit. And I'm not going to present myself to you as a child. I could sit here and tell you what you want to hear. I could be a fucking conspiracy theorist. I can sit up here, but then again, no, I can't. It's not who I am. Now, let me ask you a question. Would you rather have someone who has 60, 70,000 subscribers tell you a lie, or someone with under 1,000 tell you the truth? Because if lies are what you're into, hey, you go ahead with your bad self. But if you want the truth, if you want authenticity, hey, y'all know what to do. But at the same time, y'all, we're here to have fun. Now, is there anything else that I'm forgetting? Oh, Nia Jax. She's another reason why I watch WWE. Yeah, she's another one. I don't know how you guys feel about Damian Priest. I just can't get into his character. I can't get into Gunther's character. Finn Balor. I don't know why they stripped him of the demon character. That's when he was the most fun. I used to watch him in New Japan and other independent circuits, independent circuit he was on, and I always liked Finn Balor, but I don't know what happened. I don't know why they stripped that character from him, but I don't. And it's just not a whole lot going on right now that I'm really interested in. Tiffany Stratton has some heat. She was on a roll. She still has that briefcase, and wondering when she's going to cash it in and whatever. Now, the assumption will be that when she does cash it in, she's going to become world champion. Honestly, I don't dislike Liv Morgan. I don't know them personally to dislike them, like them or dislike them. But character-wise, it's not that I dislike Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan's character is just annoying. And her character is just not believable. And Raquel Rodriguez is just there for like whatever reason, I don't know. But as this enforcer, but she really does much of nothing. I don't. It's like when wrestling follow a particular format, that's when it becomes a stale product. And what I'm looking at is this. Example, I didn't like the way Camille was like being treated like a sidekick by Mercedes Moné. I felt like she should have been that enforcer, because at first, if you remember, Mercedes was praising her, like, look at her, she's the brick house, look at how amazing she is, right? That's what it should have been. And that's what I feel like definitely would have been better. And it would have got, even like when she walked away from Mercedes and told her she quit, it would have had more impact if it would have been, let's say they had them in a tag match or something like that, and let's say Mercedes, something happened, whatever they would have came up with. I can give my ideas of what could have happened, but let's just say if it would have been in a match or something where something physical happened between the two of them. This way, when Camille turns on Mercedes, she can turn on Mercedes and actually in a dominant way. Where now it's like, oh shit, you saw what Camille did to Mercedes? Like she can beat Mercedes. There's an anticipation. Guess what? Now you just turned Camille face. And Mercedes has a lot of heat on her right now. And this would have, did a complete turnaround. Now you have a new fresh face that people are looking at like, okay, like I thought it was a mistake when they put her in there against Chris Statlander. I said, nah, if she wins, then why do we need to see Chris Statlander versus Mercedes, right? But if she loses, then this brick house, you understand what I mean? She loses that I can't really say invincible or aura of invincibility because we've seen it in the ring. I used to watch her in NWA all the time, but I used to see her when she used to perform. She used to compete bodybuilding. But what I'm saying is that even that look she has in anticipation of her being this brick house, it kills it. And I felt like she shouldn't have lost to Chris Statlander. That match, if she was going to lose, it should have been something like where Mercedes interferes in the match. I feel like, or something, and then she lose by disqualification or something like that. In fact, and for that matter, what could have happened is they could have put that match off, and now that could have been the way that they end their relationship. Because Mercedes is all about herself. So now you cost Chris Statlander a match. And that could have even led to, not only are you about yourself, but you know that I can beat you. Right? And if I would have beat Chris, it would have been me and you instead, or whatever. It could have been anything to cause heat. And then they don't have to feud right away. There can be somebody else that gets in the way first. And you build up Camille. She has a nice trail of bodies left in her path, right, on her way to trying to become TBS champion or whatever. And however, and even if Mercedes loses the title, they still have their feud, and then Camille can go on. But what happened. I just felt like it would have been more impactful. It's not like I don't feel like it was a bad segment. I feel like that it just would have been more impactful if they would have done it where there was some type of contact, and if it was a match, it's more memorable, than just the way that it happened. So every company has things that they do that we can piggyback off and say, you know what, that was cool, but if they would have did this instead, it would have been better. And pretty much, look, like I said, you're not going to fall in love with every episode of any show, but there's a lot of great things that happen, a lot of good matches that happen, but there's always something that people are not going to like. But at the end of the day, we're not here for that, man. To hate and try to tear down. But, overall, why would I want to see WWE go out of business? Why would I want to see TNA, MLW, AEW, Stardom, New Japan, or any of these indies promotions? What do I get out of it? What do I gain? Even for AEW to be, let's say, my favorite out of all of those federations. What do I gain to see another company go out of business? That was the shit back in the day. That we could watch AEW, AWA, NWA, WWF at the time, WCW when it came along, Smoky Mountain. That was beautiful that we could watch all that stuff back in the day. And then little by little, it all disappeared, But we're in an era of time now where people are doing the same thing. Pick a side. It's like, nah, you guys suck. Pick a side. Nah, you hit the bricks with all of that. If you're not here to support wrestling, if you're not a fan of wrestling, if you're not a fan of video games, if you're not, a type of person that is mature and grown up enough to understand, appreciate life, and understand that, we make so much drama and we create problems that we don't even know how to smile and have a good time. We don't even know how to enjoy ourselves. If you're not the type of person that has maturity and some substance, it's best to stay off of my channel because I'm not here to support ignorance. I'm not here to support that. You understand what I mean? I'm just not here for that. I think, and let me say this. The first time I saw CM Punk, it was way back when TNA first started, when they had those 99-cent pay-per-views. That's the first time I remember seeing CM Punk was back in those days. I never got into his character, even from way back when. I think CM Punk, let me say, before he left the WWE, he was no superstar. They were building him. He was on his way. Whatever didn't work out and caused him to leave the WWE, it was more of a CM Punk should have been the next big thing. If you go back and look at his career, you see what I'm saying. He didn't accomplish much of shit before he left. He was still a work in progress in the WWE. So it's funny how people make it seem like this dude is legendary, like he's another Rock or John Cena or another, Stone Cold or Undertaker. No, he's not that, man. He never got to those heights. But when he goes to AEW, everybody in AEW locker room is supposed to bow down to him. No, I think that he sucked with promos. I think his promos are way too long. I think what they got Rhea Ripley doing is just, like I said, it's all her and Liv Morgan is overkill. It's stupid when these companies, it's something about WWE. They always have this lust, this whole somebody cheating on their husband. They always have, remember when Triple H drugged Stephanie McMahon and kidnapped her? They always have this weird, kinky type shit that they want to do. They had Bobby Lashley laying up in the bed being fed grapes by Lana. I mean, all of these things, they always have something like that, some type of scandal. And I never get into this kind of shit. They always have some weird stuff going on, man. And like for me, these weddings and stuff that happens, you always know when they have a wedding, somebody's going to, interfere. So my thing is, every promotion needs to think, okay, let's do this. Well, this was already done before. What can we do that makes it different? Not just something that wasn't done, but do it in a way where people are going to remember this and say, that was a great episode. People are very greedy now, and it's hard to satisfy people. Let's just say it like it is. People get turned off so quickly. They get bored quickly. They just want more, and they don't think about the type of creative work that goes into it. What I love about what AEW does is, yeah, they've had some feuds that lasted a long time. It's not the fact that a feud lasts a long time. It's what's happening in the feud, and what's, what type of matches these guys are able to produce. The promos not being stale and being, just repeated. It's just the same thing over and over, right? What I love what they do is when a feud happens and somebody lose, somebody win, okay, guess what? On to the next one. And even if it starts up again, cool, as long as it's done right. When it gets to the point where every time you turn around, you see the same people in the ring and they never fight. They just keep talking and insulting each other. I mean, man, there was a time I was watching WWE and it was like the only two tag teams I kept seeing was the New Day and the Usos. And then I just saw some people they throw together and they don't even dress alike. Don't even have a team name. They just put them in some group, just form some little group or something. They don't even have a name for their group. And they call this shit a tag team division. And it was just like, stale, man, stale. And there was a time when TNA had the hottest tag team division in wrestling. And I felt like this is what people need to bring back. You think and say when you had Doom, when you had the Steiners, the Road Warriors, when you had Powers of Pain, they had all these guys at the same time. At the same time, in the same era. And then occasionally you might have Sting and Luger team up, but I mean, you had actual tag teams. Barry Windham and Luger was a team. They had the Horsemen. You go over there in the WWF where they had the Bulldogs, the Killer Bees, the Hart Foundation, when they had Demolition, when they had Haku and King Tonga, when they had all of these people at the same time, man. Now, the tag team divisions for the most part are just people they throw together, like I said. And the one thing about the tag team division, it was the second, the tag team division was the equivalent of the World Heavyweight title, of course, for the tag teams. And then the other belts, they were there, but the tag team division was like the biggest next to the World Heavyweight Champions. Now the tag team division is just like a sub belt, man. People just have it, and it's like, do you even care who has the tag titles anymore? So when you look at every company, if every company is identical, yeah, it gets stale. The problem is people don't accept change. So when they see something different, instead of understanding, you know what, we're not watching WWE. Why do we expect a WWE format? Hey, we're not watching AEW. Why do we expect an AEW format? Learn to appreciate what each brand brings to the table. and stop thinking it's all supposed to be the same thing. But at the same time, like I said, man, people are lame in the brain now. Think people smoke too much weed. They taking this syrup and mushrooms, and I think people are just, I don't know, that it's like their brains can't function quick enough to really process things the right way. They just see something and it's like, I don't know if they hear birds chirping in their head or cricket noises or whatever, but it's just like, what do you expect to see? And now that we know for sure that Fight Forever is going to continue to be supported, like Tony Khan has said, for the third time, I don't know who's going to be next on the game or what exactly is going to be next. But like I'm saying, hopefully they pay attention to what the fans have been saying and they give us those things. Because I already love the game. And I'm looking forward to see what they do next with it. But at the same time, I'm not sitting here waiting and anticipating and sitting here like some little kid with my fingers wrapped around together behind my head, staring at the ceiling, smiling, just imagining. No, we'll get what we get when they give it to us. And that's life. Be patient. Be patient. It's coming. I want to salute you guys who've been on this channel, who's been with me from day one, and who's just been helping the channel grow slowly but surely. And hey, I salute you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I hope that you guys like the content and understand where I'm coming from. If you want a bunch of childish talk, if you want a bunch of little kiddie nonsense, then this is just not the channel for you. And that's just that. I did not nearly mean to make this video as long as I did, but I'm really feeling it right now. And I wanted to get all of this out because it's like I said, man, I want to address what's happening. I'll explain how I feel about things, but by no way, shape, or form am I like a hater of anyone or anything. But there's a lot of shit that people may find entertaining that I don't, and it's usually the childish shit. And one thing about professional wrestling is that they feel like a guy that can come in the ring and talk and just talk and grab a microphone. That's when and just monologue about nothing is the entertainment part. But I mean, when you do the same things time after time after time, it wears thin. And it's like, okay, now what are you going to do? I don't think professional wrestling is as crafty and as witty as it used to be in terms of how the shows are put together and how they do things. It's become more of a repetitive thing, the way things happen. And until people step back and look at what's happening and understand, we need to be creative, far more creative. We need to, do something that is being done in ways that the other companies aren't doing. One thing is for sure, wrestling felt more fun when wrestlers had characters. I mean, because if you got Ricky Steamboat, if you got the One Man Gang, if you have, the Undertaker, if you have the Ultimate Warrior, if you have Ric Flair, if you have all these different personalities and characters, it really felt special. Now, honestly, everybody just feels the same. They just look different a little bit, but that's it. They just feel the same. They just come out, they say something, they talk, but it's like, aside from the sarcasm and the insults, what are they really saying that you really care about? It's just, okay, let's say this and that to explain how we feel and why I'm having a beef with this person. And okay, but it's really like, I feel like the creativity, the efforts is just not there. I think the vision is not the same as well. And when you have characters, that's what stands out. Now, what you do in the match is what backs it up and what's make the character that much more appealing. But once you just have guys coming out and just talking and the crowd is cheering for you because they like who you are as a face, that's one thing. But overall, it's like you have to give the people something to make them want to keep coming back. And this is where people are failing to understand. Wrestling is about entertainment. It's not a real fucking sport. All right? They're not really fighting. They are entertaining. So why the fuck people keep talking about one company and putting one company against the other and wanting to knock a company just to build the other? No. If you look at what's happening, my whole point is like I'm saying, I don't really like a whole lot of what happens on WWE. Now, how many fucking videos have I made telling you this? Not many. That's my point. I'm not here to, did you see this episode of Raw? No, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say I liked something if I didn't. But I'm making this video like I said, to explain my position in this and the type of things that people are saying and doing. And no, we're going to dead that shit, because going forward, I'm going to do more videos on what happened on, AEW, WWE, or whatever it happened on, how it goes. But I'm not here to make my videos telling you guys, I hate the show, I hate this, I hate that. No, I will cover what happened, the way I see things, but I'm not going to lie, and I'm being honest. There's a lot of shit that I see that's like, okay, that was cool. Right. But what I don't get into is this whole, I want to see WWE go down, I want to see AEW go down, they suck, they this, they that. Well, I'll tell you what, if you think Mercedes-Benz, they suck, if you think Rhea Ripley sucks, if you think whoever sucks, right? Guess what? There's going to be times where a whole show make you go, like I said before, what the hell did I just watch? But you know what? If you fantasize and tell yourself in your head what's going to happen week after week, you're going to be disappointed pretty much every time. Because unless you're writing the show, that means you have your own script. We're here to spread the positivity and kill the negativity. Y'all be safe. Enjoy your day. I'll be back before Christmas, obviously, but just be safe out there, and you never know what might happen. So everybody, enjoy your holidays. And if I'm back here before Christmas, which I think I should be, I'll probably be back tomorrow. Who knows? I don't know. Sometimes I'm so busy, I don't even know what my own schedule is going to look like. But be safe. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your family. Play your games. Enjoy your games. Keep negativity out of your life. Games and entertainment means I'm not limited to just talking about games. I'd rather talk about things that's more entertaining in a positive way than negative. If you on board, I'm with you. You with me? We got each other's back. Enough talk.